Is your online community quiet and you're a little worried that something's wrong, but you're thinking maybe it's okay? There's a difference between a community that's not working and one that is working, but it looks different from what you think it should be. Knowing what you're dealing with changes everything about what you do next. If you assume that your community can't be quiet, actually, if you have a definition for what an online community needs to be and what the level of activity needs to be, and your community isn't meeting that, it's easy to feel like you're not being successful and you're doing something wrong. I've seen that in many of my clients, and I've seen it in myself. I'm Marcia Chadly, an online community consultant and a Mighty Network expert. We have this idea that there's a certain kind of engagement and activity that all online communities have, and if ours doesn't have that one, then something's wrong. Really, though, what we're looking for is our members to get the results that they're in our community to get. And we know that one of the values of community is engagement, is members interacting with each other, sharing their wisdom and experiences, providing accountability and support. And it's that kind of interaction and activity that helps people get the results they're looking for more easily and more quickly, and sometimes at all, than they would on their own. Sometimes you just can't do it on your own, and sometimes it's better and you can go deeper in more places when you're with other people working toward the same thing. But what that looks like varies a lot between community and over time in the same community. We all need periods of rest and stepping back and reflection and integration. So somebody on their path in your community working on the transformation or the goal that they're there to achieve isn't necessarily going to be in there every day consistently and having a consistent level of interaction and activity. They may be in there exploring an issue they have and getting ideas and thinking about it, and then step back and put those into integration or percolate on them, or even they have something else going on in their life and they have to step away for a while and then come back. So the idea that everybody needs to be in your network, always actively engaging, just doesn't work that way. It might work that way if you're working with machines, but we're working with people, not machines. We don't have consistent output. Our activity isn't about production. And sometimes being quiet and integrating and reflecting and working on things outside of the community is a real sign that your members are making progress. When they come back in and share what they're doing or get ready to do something else. So just looking at the level of activity, the consistency of that level of activity also doesn't tell you that your network is good or bad. If that's missing, it doesn't mean that your network isn't working. Really what you want to look at is, are your members achieving the goals and the results that they're there to achieve? In fact, if you push engagement and you have all kinds of activity and it does not fit for your members or for a certain segment of your members, your network isn't working. That's not being successful. There are people who have different seasonal things they need to do. Time away. They may be caregivers and have not a lot of time at specific times of the day or for days on end, and then they come back in. There are so many different ways to be involved with your community, with the interaction there, with any information you're providing, that one way of looking at what's going on doesn't tell you what's happening. Let me give you a real specific example. I was looking at the interaction in my online community. My community of practice is for Mighty Network hosts. We're working on keeping up with Mighty Network features and looking at the networks, seeing what to do to build engagement, to look at structure, all the same kind of things to be more successful with our online communities. And as I looked at the activity level in my community, I noticed it was really high toward the beginning of the month, and then it tapered off. My first thought was, ooh, I'm doing something wrong at the end of the month. I need to rethink this. How can I change my engagement strategy so that we become more consistently active through the month? So I tried that. Put a lot of effort into January, and you know what? Didn't change the level of activity for a variety of reasons. But I thought, okay, I need to step back and rethink this. And that's where I really started getting this understanding that constant, consistent activity, even if it means everybody comes in once a week versus every day, isn't necessarily the goal. In fact, it's not a really good expectation in most cases. So in the next month, in February, I went back to the normal cadence and theme and did some more watching and thinking. I realized that what was really helping my members get results was our group call, our once a month group call. That's what people were really excited about, and they were in the network often around that, before and after. So I decided to lean into that pattern. To me, what that said is, okay, that's a good time of month. This is a good activity. They like doing this. They're getting a lot out of the connection with each other on that call and around the call. We're going to lean into that. I'm not going to try and make that consistent through the month. I'm definitely not going to put a call on every week. For one thing, I don't want to do that. And for the other thing, it's not necessarily because the only thing they want to do is a call and they would do that as many times as I put it in. That's just a really good fit for the amount of time and energy they have to invest. So I've changed up what we're doing each month, and I'm calling it a design lab. During that group call, we're looking at case studies, at a specific feature in different networks to explore ideas of what each other is doing, to develop questions, to really hone in on different aspects of using the Mighty Networks platform. And I can tell a difference. I've scaled back on the number of posts I'm doing the rest of the month and leaning into that beginning time. And I can see that during the other parts of the month, people are integrating and bubbling up and thinking about it, maybe experimenting. There's a difference, and I can tell they're getting results. I'm not feeling like, oh my gosh, I put all this work into it and nobody's in there responding and they're not asking questions of each other and something is wrong. I'm now feeling like I'm working on the things that make a difference and help them get results. I've stepped back from trying to create a level of engagement that really isn't helpful for them and done one that is. And that becomes helpful for me. Now, the other thing I'm keeping in mind is that that's what works right now. That's an ideal strategy right now. But an online community is growing and changing all the time. Even if the members stay consistent, which they don't, people come in and go, what they're doing and the other things in their life and just the season of the year and what that brings into our lives changes. So the ideal thing now in March and April may not be the ideal thing next December. Communities are alive and growing in people. So every community is going to look different at different times. That's part of the creative process of being a Mighty Networks host, an online community host. And I hope you can lean into that and let go of the idea that you have to fit a specific mold or your members have to fit a specific mold of activity to be successful. If you've liked this video, I hope that you can follow this YouTube channel for more ideas about running online communities, like the video itself. Be happy to talk to you more about your community if you're interested in support and you want to dive deeper into this or other topics.